So today I am here with Jackie, who worked very hard. She started working with me in August, and I think it was 15 pounds down in 12 weeks.
Yep.
So we just wrapped up about a month ago, and I was just checking in with Jackie, and she is right where she was when she left off. And so she still has some goals to keep going, but I think the cool thing about that and the exciting thing about that is you've maintained that progress, which is really what we want, right? We don't want to like get off a program or whatever that is and just and go backwards. We don't want to go backwards. So that's really exciting that you've been able to do that. So thank you so much, Jackie, for taking the time to chat with me today. Really appreciate it.
Sure.
So one of the things I think is important is people understanding, what it is like to work with me. What's this program like? What's your experience? How did everything go through the lens of what you experienced, so that somebody who might be curious about what this whole experience is like can start to get a better picture.
Absolutely.
Yay. So like I mentioned before, Jackie started working with me back in August, and it was a 12-week program. So we stopped about a month ago. But I was curious if we could go back in time a little bit, Jackie, to that time before we actually got started in August. And I was curious about what were the circumstances that you were dealing with? What were the thoughts that you were having? What were the things that prompted you to reach out to me?
So I have kind of yo-yoed my entire life. I can't say my entire life. I think probably my adult life, I would say, and after kids. But I got to the point where I needed some sort of accountability. I knew kind of what to do in a way to lose weight and to lose that fat and to maintain it. But I needed a little bit more push and a little bit more knowledge. So I'd gotten probably up to my second highest weight since having my kids. Granted, my kids are, 12 and 15. So, but I wasn't comfortable anymore. I didn't like what I was seeing in the mirror. I didn't like how I was fitting in my clothes. So I knew I needed some sort of change, and I needed especially that accountability piece of it to kind of make sure I was staying on track.
Yeah. So essentially you'd had enough and you were ready for some change, and you were ready to accept the work, the responsibility, the challenge, so to speak, to get where you wanted to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you sure did. So what was and I think this is helpful for people to understand, is like, what was your experience with weight loss in the past? Like what were some of the things that you had tried before? Like, you said you yo-yoed, like, what does that really look like?
I think if it was out there, I tried it. I did the crazy expensive prepackaged foods. I did the limiting your calories, the 1,200 calories. I've tried keto. I tried Weight Watchers. I tried, I mean, liquid diet, you name it. I've tried it. The pills, the craziness, anything that you would see on TV. I feel like I tried it. Now, like 8 years ago, I was successful and like just eating better and running. That was my thing. So that was successful, but it wasn't. I wasn't able to maintain that. The lifestyle and the consistency. I thought I could, but it just didn't work, and I didn't realize how much more plays into that versus just eating better and cardio. So I needed that bigger picture.
Yeah. And you want to do something that you can maintain. Like you said, you want to be able to keep those results long-term.
Right.
Absolutely. So when we started working together, or right before you might even been thinking about it, what were some of the doubts or the fears? Like, did you have any concerns about getting started with me in the first place?
I think my biggest fear was just failing and not even being able to do it in the first place. It was almost like that self-doubt. Even with your knowledge, I felt like this is maybe it was going to be too hard, or I wasn't going to be able to follow kind of the steps or the rules per se. So it was all self-doubt and failure on my part.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of people deal with.
Right.
So what would you say was like the deciding factor to move forward? Like what was like the like kind of the switch that was like, okay, this is I'm ready for this.
I think it was just I think it was kind of an inner feeling, like I just got to the point where I was not comfortable with myself anymore. And I knew that I deserved better. And I wasn't taking care of myself the way that I knew I should be.
Mhm.
So I think it was just that final, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of looking this way. I'm tired of my clothes not fitting, and my self-esteem being lower. So I knew at that point something's got to change, and that's when I reached out and said I need help, and hopefully we can do this together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing is like, it's one thing to think about things, but it's another whole spectrum of the solution to actually go forward and take action on that.
Right, right. And I know we met and you kind of went over the program and how it works, and it was almost like I knew instantly, yes, I want to do this. It's time to do this. But even though like I think I took a day or two to think about it, like I felt like I knew instantly, like this is what I need. This is what's going to help me move forward. And it was like you said, it was just the committing to it and just saying, yes, I'm going to actually do this was the
Mhm.
hardest part.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think so many people can relate to that. Well,
Yeah.
why don't you share a little bit about like what are the changes that you've made as a result of this program? And you can even talk about like maybe the changes that you made while you were in it and like what you've continued even after the 12 weeks has been completed.
Um, I think the biggest things, I started tracking my food better. I've done a little bit of that in the past, but I got off track with life. Life got in the way. So I think I've been more consistent with that and actually paying more attention to the types of food that I'm eating versus the calories that I was, taking in to fill up those empty spots. So I'm a lot more conscious of what I'm eating. Um, Sleep is a big thing. By no means am I perfect, but I'm definitely more conscious about the amount of sleep that I'm getting and the quality of sleep that I'm getting versus, just trying to squeeze in those couple hours a
Mhm.
night versus, the 6, 7, 8 hours that really makes a big difference um, in the fat loss program. Um, and I'd say my workouts, incorporating that strength training in versus the 5, 6 days a week of running that I used to do in the past. It makes a huge difference. So keeping up with that and keeping that regular schedule of 3 days a week of strength training, like you can truly see a difference in my body versus of doing just cardio versus incorporating the strength training in there. And I like the way that is. Obviously anybody wants to see muscle tone, but to incorporate that into the program and then maintain that as well, like those are definitely 3 things that I've kept up with since finishing too.
Yeah. And I love how you notice, the difference in how the different form of exercise has made a difference in how your body looks and probably how it feels as well.
Yeah.
That's, from somebody who is, has loved running and who really committed to it over the past, that's a big thing to make that switch. And I think that's great experience to share as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as a female, I think that sets people off a lot. And nobody wants, they think strength training and they think, the bulkiness and the muscle tone and all that, but it's not to the point where it looks bad. Obviously you want to look better, so I think, doing it the right way, which is what you push for it, following the right steps and getting the right body tone versus, too muscular, like, some women think.
Yeah, having that good program, that quality program written for you.
Right.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Awesome. So what would you say has made the biggest impact for you?
I think the self-confidence that I gained from doing the program and seeing the changes in my body. And because it's not just a physical thing, it's very much a mental program as well. Because you have to incorporate those changes and you have to have that self-control a lot. And I saw that it took a little while to get there for me. And by no means is it a smooth road. It was quite bumpy at times. And there was some regression. I'm not gonna lie. But seeing the progress that I did make, it definitely boosts your self-confidence and boosts your self-esteem to see where you were versus where you are now, and where you still can continue to be, if you just follow the steps and follow the program as is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that you said that was the confidence was the biggest thing, because you're so right. I mean, like the physical plays into the mental part, but it starts with that like mental shift and just being able to like step into your true power and really understanding like what's possible for you is just so cool.
Right. I love it. Like, it's funny. I was just walking around today and I'm like, feeling pretty good today, and it's all encompassing, it's your self-esteem, it's your physical appearance, your mental state, I think it all is, kind of self-encompassing. And I was like, okay, this is how I am now, let's just keep pushing forward.
Yeah. So my next question to you is going to be like, how has your life changed? And like, maybe that kind of plays into what you've just mentioned about like how you feel about yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think, your self-confidence kind of, it plays into so many other aspects of your life. So it's not just your physical health, it's it's incorporated into your job and your relationships with friends and family and such. So it's almost like it comes full circle. So it's not just you feeling better and losing weight. It's every aspect of your life seems to change in some way, shape, or form.
100%. Yeah, I love that. That is, I feel like that is truly the most important thing, is about not only how you feel physically, but like how that plays into all of the aspects of your life, mentally, emotionally. And, as moms who have a career and we've got kids and, you got to take care of your home and you probably have relationships either with spouses or significant others, like all of those things are so important. And when you can do something for yourself that impacts all of those positively, man, it's such a positive thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with that one. It truly does impact so much more than just you personally.
Yeah, I love it. So if you could, maybe you can let anybody who's listening to this in on like what it's like to work with me. Like, what was your experience like?
It wasn't intimidating by any means. I think that was part of the fear too, looking back, not knowing how, I guess kind of how, what's the word? How am I looking for? I guess not knowing your reactions, if things were going good or going bad, you kind of hesitate and you don't want to disappoint your coach by any means. But you were so easy to work with. And I feel like anytime I had a question, I could always reach out. Um, and no matter the good or the bad or how things were going for me, you were always there encouraging. And if things weren't going the right way, you were able to somehow spin it and make it so that it was workable, it was doable. A tweak here, a tweak there within the program, and it almost like, it got you back on track, and I was able to push through, and it was comforting to know that you didn't have someone that was, almost like a drill sergeant coming down on you, so hard, but it was relatable,
Mhm.
especially as a mom, and with a full-time job and kids and all that.
Yeah.
um it was very easy to relate to you, and you could relate to me, and kind of put things into perspective and make it like, okay, we can do this, we can push through, and it's almost like we figured it out every single time, no matter what hurdle I came to. um you were always able to kind of help me through, and take it step by step, and be successful.
Yeah, I love that. And I think, that's a testament to how I really feel, which is whenever I work with someone, I just want them to feel 100% supported, no matter what. Like if there's things that aren't going great, like life is not perfect. We're not perfect. And we have to almost expect that that's going to happen. But there's always hope, right? There's always possibilities for
Mhm.
getting things back on track. And because we have set that goal in the beginning and you've told me how important it is, like I will do everything I can to help you get there and help you see what's possible. And, when we work together, I think that's the biggest thing, because the last thing I want is for you to like feel like you have to hide something or,
Right.
feel like you're judged. I want to make sure you've got this safe space to just share what's going on truly. And, whatever it is, we can find a way to work through it.
Yeah, and it absolutely was like that. I didn't, like I said, I never wanted to like disappoint you, but at the same time, I knew that it was always a comfortable space where I could tell you exactly what was going on. And even things within life, because those are hurdles that you have to get over that will
Mhm.
impact your health, and such, and your weight loss, goals. So to
Mhm.
be able to share that kind of stuff with you, and see how it impacts all of that. It was definitely a safe space and a comfortable environment to be able to do that.
That's awesome. I am so happy to hear that. And, to your credit, you did go through some really tough things. And I mean, I'm sure that's not 100% resolved. It's still life. Like life is always challenging, but, like you didn't make any excuses. You really stuck with things. You stayed strong. And that is a testament to who you are as a person as well. So, again, well done on everything that you've accomplished, and well
Thank
deserved.
you. Thank you.
So I think maybe we can kind of wrap it up with like what would you say to anyone who is considering working with me?
Um, don't hesitate to do it. um, I mean, you do not put any crazy expectations on your clients. You make things doable. You put it in relatable terms, and the step by step process, and program that you have. Um, you don't throw everything out at once. The program that you've developed, and incorporating the weekly lessons and such, um, it makes it not overwhelming. So taking those step by steps and weeks by weeks, it's a great program. And like I said, you're so easy to work with, and so supportive, that I think anyone would be crazy if they're questioning, should I do it? Should I not? To Don't hesitate and just do it, because you're great. So I
Oh,
appreciate everything you've done for me.
well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And, there is no greater compliment than when somebody who has actually been through the process to speak to that and to just share that as their experience. Like, oh my gosh, it just makes me so, so happy. And of course you're happy. So it's like, it's a win-win, right?
Really, absolutely.
Yes. Well, I just want to thank you so much, Jackie, from the bottom of my heart for sharing your experience. Like I said, I know you went through some tough challenges and you never made those your excuses, and you always kept the big goal, the big picture in mind, and you did such a phenomenal job. So I commend you, and I just want to honor, all of the growth that you've made through the last 12 weeks, and even more now that it's been about a month since this program has ended. And I'm excited to see you continue your progress, to continue to feel happy, to continue to feel confident, and keep going.
Yep. Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. So I appreciate everything that you did as well. So I'll definitely keep you posted on what's to come.
Yes, I'm going to definitely stay in touch and check in every once in a while to see how you're doing, because that way, there's always going to be that even though it's not, the weekly accountability, it's going to be in some form of accountability.
Yeah, definitely. Please do. I definitely want to keep you.
I love it. I love it. Well, again, thank you so much, Jacki. I know tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great holiday with your family. And I will chat with you in the near future.
Sounds good. Thanks, Amy. Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Thank you, Jacki. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.